We're going to talk about distance formula right now. This is a topic that is tested very heavily on the Regents exams, and a few simple steps can make sure you get all of the points on every one of these problems. Now, with the distance formula, what a problem will usually ask for, it'll usually ask for distance. That's kind of the dummy. That's the no-brainer. Or it'll ask for length. Now, if it asks for distance or length, that means we're going to have to use the distance formula. Now, always it'll ask for the distance or length between point A and point B. Now, it may use different variables, AB, BC, but it'll always ask for the distance between two given points. Now, for this problem, let's call this A is -2, 1, and B is 1, 5. Now, the distance formula is, as we all know, D, our distance, equals the square root, make sure you have a big square root, x2 minus x1, both in parentheses, squared, plus y2 minus y1, in parentheses, squared. This is the change in our x value squared plus the change in our y value squared. Now, it says x2, x1, y2, y1. Where do I get these numbers? They come from these points. Now, first things first, you need to pick one of these to be your x1, y1. Let's pick A to be our x1, y1. So let's label these points x1, y1, leaving these points here to be x2, y2. Now that we have x1, y1, x2, y2, we take them and we plug them in to our distance formula. So once again, D equals big square root. x2, in this case, is 1 minus -2 squared plus y2 is 5 minus y1 is 1 squared. Now that we have this is just arithmetic. So I can say my distance equals the square root of 1 minus -2, so those turn into 1 plus 2, 3 squared plus 5 minus 1, 4 squared. We keep going. Our distance equals the square root of 9 plus 16. Distance equals the square root of 9 plus 16 is 25. We know 25 is one of my perfect squares, so D equals 5. We aren't given a value, so we'll say 5 units. Now, our keys for any distance formula problem, number 1 is label the points. That means x1, y1, and x2, y2. Number 2, write out the formula. When you write out the formula, you're going to be able to make sure that you're not making any silly little mistakes, that you know the formula cold, you have it. Don't do math in your head before the formula's on the paper. Number 3, plug in to the formula. Take our numbers, take my x1, y1, plug them in back to our formula just like we did right here. And our final step, step 4, is solve. If there's any arithmetic that you're not completely confident in, don't hesitate to use your calculator, but please make sure we are adding, subtracting, and doing all that stuff the right way. Let's zoom out a little bit. This has been the distance formula. Send me an email if you have any other questions or would like some extra problems to do. Have a good one.